As treasure hunters and the new four emperors Luffy fight each other for the pure gold treasure, a fierce war breaks out. Who will win pure gold? The film opens with a little girl with blonde hair devouring food on the table. The Navy is taking her to a secret place. A stealth ship is approaching their fleet. At this time, a CP0 guy comes to her to ask her about pure gold, but she does not want to tell him and the world government about the treasure that can buy this world, so pure gold is hers alone. Suddenly one battleship was attacked, the rest were attacked in quick succession. She saw this scene and loudly said that she would take the opportunity to escape, but everyone heard her intentions. They did not see the enemy attacking from either side, but a barrage of arrows still rushed to attack the naval ships. Suddenly, the soldier above is attacked. A stranger appears. He introduces himself as the eater of the devil fruit, which is the devil fruit that gives the user the ability to disguise. A huge ship suddenly appeared among the naval ships. The pirates on board were preparing to attack. This girl immediately drew her bow and arrow and destroyed other naval ships. Captain Treasure used chains to attack the naval ships in front of him. Pirates run on chains and attack naval ships on the other side. The pirate in disguise easily takes down the other marines. The Navy is overwhelmed by pirates, and Treasure is now approaching the ship and announcing that the treasure hunt has begun. CP0 at this point dragged the little girl away, but not expecting that Treasure blocked their path. Two marines rushed to attack, but he easily knocked them out. After seeing the power of the treasure, the little girl immediately wants him to rescue her from the world government and she will reveal information about pure gold to him. Unexpectedly, he got news about pure gold from the world government. He suddenly attacked CP0. They scramble for information about pure gold. She says she will take advantage. While they are fighting she will escape, but they all hear. CP0 is punched in the face by Treasure and loses consciousness. Olga has just run to the deck when she is stopped by arrows. Treasure also appears suddenly. At this time she is surrounded by hundreds of pirates. Suddenly she cried out. A gecko running in the sea rushed to pick her up and escaped. This girl was about to attack when she was stopped by Treasure. Then he ordered the whole ship to leave immediately. This big-headed mutant is Tesoro's subordinate. Treasure wants him to tell Tesoro that he will win pure gold. The big-headed mutant hands him an envelope containing Tesoro's Viver card, which will take the treasure to the rendezvous point. However, Treasure was no longer interested in the gold and silver treasure. What he wanted was the feeling of finding that pure gold treasure. CP0 is now reporting the attack of the treasure pirates to his superiors. Luffy orders him to bring Olga back. If he loses track of pure gold, his fate will also be destroyed. At this time Olga was crossing the ocean with her gecko. Suddenly she spotted the ship of the Straw Hat Pirates. She found Luffy's expression a little stupid, so she thought Luffy was the weakest of the group. Luffy's team is also seeing the lizard and the little girl running in the sea. Luffy hooks the meat to the bait and hooks the lizard to his ship. The lizard and the little girl pretend to faint. Chopper catches a pulse and examines the little girl, but her health is healthy. Realizing that she is about to be discovered, she pulls out a knife, then immediately wakes up and takes Luffy hostage. She asks them to bring her food and water if they want her to ensure Luffy's safety. However, no one cares about the girl's threat. On the contrary, Usopp worries about her when she takes Luffy hostage. The lizard exclaimed. Chopper could understand the lizard's words that surprised Olga and hugged Chopper for this cuteness. When Luffy examines the lizard's mouth, a startled Olga thinks she's been tricked into letting her guard down by them, but since she hasn't eaten in a long time, she's exhausted and unconscious. Sanji brought Olga a plate of food. Seeing the food, she immediately handed the knife to Sanji and devoured the food. Robin sees the pattern on Olga's shirt and knows it has something to do with alchemy, after which Robin explains that alchemy is a legendary island that mysteriously disappeared years ago. Robin went on to say that in alchemy there was a person named Meskina Aesir who researched metal fabrication. He created an alloy called pure gold. It is the metal of legend. It can glow in the dark. It is so valuable that it can buy everything in the world. Since then, people have been searching for pure gold. After the Luffy team heard the story and they were excited about the treasure, they asked Olga, but she didn't tell Luffy's team where the pure gold was stored. Usopp laughs because Olga lies so badly, because she says she won't, which means she knows where the pure gold treasure is stored. Olga thinks the Straw Hat Pirates are too weak to obtain pure gold treasure. Nami offers to take her to the island containing pure gold, but Olga refuses because she has long been independent. Frankie suddenly gets emotional when he thinks that the girl, although young, has endured a lot of difficulties in life. Suddenly all the members of the Straw Hat Pirates have changed into costumes to prepare for the adventure to find pure gold treasure. Nami then talks to Olga to split the treasure with Olga in a ratio of 6-4, and of course Olga will receive 6 parts of the treasure. However, Olga thinks that the Straw Hat Pirates are too weak to go get the treasure. Nami immediately issues her group's wanted warrant for Olga to see and comment. Then Olga also believes that they are very strong, and she accidentally states her mind that she will use the Straw Hat Pirates to get pure gold, then she will run away with pure gold. This makes everyone hear her evil intentions. They were about to go looking for the treasure. Only thanks to this ring could they go to the place where the pure gold was stored. Inside the ring contained some pure gold. At this moment, a strange ship was approaching them, and the 4 sensed it with their observation hockey. The other ship crashes into Luffy's ship. They attack, but Zoro manages to block the attack. The ship gradually appears. Nami immediately recognizes it as a treasure pirate. He is a treasure hunter who hunts treasure everywhere. Treasure realizes that the observation hockey of the Straw Hat group is stronger than the camouflage technique of his subordinates. Sanji heard the disguise technique and he was immediately shocked, along with a look of hatred towards the other. Both sides immediately started attacking each other. Zoro kept swinging and slashing down many enemies. Robin easily broke their necks. Sanji kept kicking off their necks. Usopp wasn't gentle either. Frankie was like a miner. One attack knocked them all out. Chopper says Luffy was the one who defeated Doflamingo, but Olga doesn't know who Doflamingo is. Nami is surprised she doesn't know him. Right now Luffy throws punches that knock out all of Treasure's subordinates. Treasure sees this and is delighted to struggle to make the treasure hunt more exciting. Olga immediately shows dislike for Treasure's group, so she teams up with Luffy's team, which causes Treasure to angrily swing her chains to capture Olga and Chopper. The two sides were struggling with each other, causing Olga pain as the chain tightened even tighter. Olga could barely take it anymore, so Zoro promptly cut off the chain. However, this caused Olga to be thrown away. The ring was also thrown aloft. The light from pure gold emitted, then the ring fell into the sea. Suddenly a giant fish saw the light coming from the ring. Olga was now frightened because Bonbori was coming. Bonbori swallowed the ring, causing big waves to appear. It was a giant bulbfish named Bonbori. It opened its big mouth and sucked 2 ships into its mouth. Frankie is about to launch the emergency escape system, but they are about to launch when Olga stops them because the legendary island of alchemy is in the belly of this fish. Olga's ring is only a small part of pure gold. Most of the remaining pure gold is in the belly of this fish. Nami hears this and orders Frankie to change course 180 degrees. Seeing the ship of the Straw Hat group turn, Treasure orders to follow the Luffy group. Soon both ships are swallowed by the giant fish. Noticing that Treasure's ship is rushing towards Luffy's ship, Olga warns them that they are about to hit the fish's throat. Luffy puffs up his body to push the boat towards safety, then he swings his arms to fly back to the ship, but Luffy is hit by an arrow, causing him to fall. Seeing that Luffy is in danger, Olga immediately rides the lizard to save Luffy. In front of the esophagus, the 2 ships immediately fall into the belly of the fish. Olga also promptly saves Luffy. Soon he woke up on an island, just touched the surface of the water. His leg was very painful. Olga said that it was the acidic liquid of the other fish. Olga said that without her, Luffy would die and decompose. Luffy thanks Olga and the lizard for saving him. Luffy is surprised that they are in this fish's stomach. This is one of the islands swallowed by the other fish. This fish has swallowed 3 islands. They are on the first island. To find pure gold, they have to pass through the second stomach to reach the third stomach. The light in the stomach of the fish thanks to the light bulb of the fish. Suddenly a dinosaur was approaching. They were surrounded by a swarm of dinosaurs. Luffy immediately dodged it and threw punches that knocked down the dinosaur. The other dinosaurs were scared and ran away. Olga is excited and runs over because she can eat the dinosaur. After eating, Olga says that her dream for 200 years has been fulfilled. Luffy was surprised because she said she had only eaten fish and fruit on the island for the past 200 years to survive, so she wanted to eat meat to fill her stomach. Luffy wondered because if the girl had lived for 200 years she would have turned into an old woman, but Olga was still a little girl. Olga assumes that Luffy is the old man, but Luffy says that he is only 19 years old, at which point Olga realizes that she is older than Luffy. 200 years ago Olga lived with her parents on the metal island of alchemy, but since her father created pure gold, their lives began to turn upside down. Pirates who heard about pure gold came to this island and killed Olga's mother. Because Olga had lost her mother she was angry and took off the ring, but the light emanating from the ring attracted this huge bulb fish to come and swallow part of the island. Her father may have died when he was swallowed by this fish. For the past 200 years, Olga has been living in this stomach alone, but during her escape, Olga was captured by the Navy. Olga knows how to get out of here, so if Luffy and his team want to get out of here then she suggests he follow her orders. They immediately shook hands in coordination. Suddenly the chain arm flew towards Luffy and he blocked it. Treasure had found them. He wanted Olga to tell him how to get pure gold. Luffy stopped Treasure because Olga had agreed to go get pure gold with them. The two sides immediately rushed to attack each other. Treasure's attacks were dodged by Luffy and counterattacked. Treasure seemed at a disadvantage when fighting Luffy, but he still laughed triumphantly. It turned out that Luffy's teammates had been captured. Luffy was about to rush to save them, but Treasure brought Nami out to threaten Luffy and inflict pain on them. Luffy could only bear the bondage and Treasure asked Olga to show him where to store the pure gold. Olga demanded that they give her half of the gold because Olga knew how to get out of here. Treasure agrees to this. Luffy stops Olga because he knows Treasure will kill Olga after obtaining pure gold. However, Olga still agrees to go get pure gold with Treasure. Olga has one more request, that Treasure not kill Luffy here. The acid tide is about to rise. Treasure wants Luffy to enjoy the painful death. Soon after, the ship leaves. The surging tide of acid fluid flooded into Luffy, causing him pain. A dinosaur suddenly approaching to attack Luffy. At the dinosaur's nest, a pack of baby dinosaurs is hungry. An old man is hungry and wants to eat them. At this time the other dinosaur brings Luffy back to the nest, but he has escaped from its mouth. Once out of his mouth, Luffy sees the baby dinosaurs and wants to eat them, causing them all to rush away. The old man rushed over but was knocked down by Luffy. They finally saw each other's faces. He untied Luffy and Luffy thanked him. Then Luffy asked if he was also swallowed by this giant fish. The old man replied that he was devoured here many years ago and survived in the belly of this fish with dinosaurs. In order to survive, the old man disguised himself as a dinosaur. Luffy says that there is a little girl living here named Olga. The old man suddenly says she is his baby and sobs, but now she is being captured by one pirate, so Luffy will go save her now. The old man begs Luffy to take him to save his daughter. Luffy agrees, then they both run to the beach. At this time Luffy caught a lizard. The old man saw that, then used lizard language to ask the lizard. The lizard said make him laugh and it will help them. Luffy started to show all the funny expressions, but the lizard didn't find it funny. The old man suddenly showed his talent for funny expressions that made Luffy and the lizard laugh to the point of tears. Then they rode the lizard and left. The Nami group is currently enslaved and they fear that their ship Thousand Sunny will be destroyed by the acidic liquid. Treasure suddenly uses her powers to strangle them. Nami and Treasure now recognize each other. Then Olga asks Nami about Treasure. Nami says that during one of her trips to steal Treasure's treasure, she accidentally met another girl who was also stealing Treasure's treasure, but then they were caught. In the end, the other girl took advantage of Nami to escape, so Nami was almost killed. At this time Luffy and the old man also reached the second stomach, but the lizard's legs began to be eaten away by the acidic fluid. Luffy spotted his ship ahead. Suddenly a group of people came and their faces were similar to Zoro, Sanji and Frankie. They suddenly attacked the two. Luffy still didn't realize that the other three were not his teammates. 2. The imposter rushes to attack Luffy but is countered by him. The other was kicked in the face by Luffy, a group of people with faces similar to his three comrades. The old man now says that they have pretended to be Luffy's teammates. The man in disguise appears and he says that he has disguised his subordinates like Zoro, Sanji and Frankie, but with a slight difference. Luffy unleashed a series of punches and knocked the others away, followed by the pirate disguising his subordinates as the old man's face. They opened fire and then rushed to attack Luffy. Luffy couldn't hit them all for fear of his attack hitting the old man. At this point, the old man continued to show his signature comedic expression that Luffy recognized and laughed out loud, then defeated all the other imposters. The pirate in disguise used his powers and escaped. At this time the treasure was approaching the third stomach and also the place where the pure gold was hidden. They began to come to the tower. The other girl sees strange characters and treasure forces Robin to decipher the strange characters. Those characters mean that those who intend to enter this place to get pure gold will pay by death. My name is Meskina Aesir. Olga knows Aesir and he is the creator of pure gold. Suddenly a person comes out dying and announces that everyone who enters is dead. Brook was forced to lead the way. Everyone else who followed Brook was shot dead by arrows. In front of them was a room with a piano in the middle. Only those who played the right notes and had a pure soul could reach the light of pure gold. Robin says they need to play the right song to escape death, and if they play the wrong song, they will die. Brook says he can play the other song completely, and Treasure threatens that if Brook makes a mistake, his team will perish. Brook starts playing the song. These tunes remind Olga of the past when she was walking with her mother in the field. Suddenly part of the music is lost, but Brook continues to play. However, Brook plays the wrong note, causing the arrow to shoot through Brook's hat. Robin catches the arrows and encourages Brook to continue completing the song. The arrows continue to be fired en masse. This time Chopper is the one to stop the arrows so that Brook continues to play the music. The arrows didn't stop firing. Robin and Chopper coordinated to block all the arrows. In a 1,000 pounds hanging from a hair situation like this, Olga stepped up and asked Brook to play to her lyrics. Brook plays music to Olga's lyrics, and as a result, the ceasefire arrows and lava flows below gradually recede to reveal a secret passage. The pirate in disguise rushes in and announces that Luffy is still alive. Treasure continues to enter the secret passage and orders 2 subordinates to guard the entrance. Now that Zoro and Sanji are coming, Luffy thinks they are imposters, so he attacks Zoro and Sanji. Zoro and Sanji counterattack Luffy to prove that they are not fakes. Frankie also appears at this time, and Frankie needs some time to repair the ship to prevent it from being corroded by acidic fluid. Sanji is angry that Nami and Robin have been captured, which drives him crazy and hurries away first. The old man, Luffy and Zoro will follow. Now in the second challenge, they need to hit the steel on the other side for the bridge to appear. A pirate throws Chopper downwards, causing the dinosaur to rush towards Chopper, but he easily defeats the dinosaur. Usopp confidently showed off his marksmanship skills, but a gust of wind deflected his bullets. A dinosaur suddenly flew out to attack Usopp. Then Usopp thought of a way and took advantage of the wind force to hit the steel. The bridge gradually appeared, along with which the next secret passage was opened. Treasure laughed in satisfaction and forced Robin's team to continue to the next challenge. At the same time, Luffy's group was entering the tower, and the other girl immediately shot an explosive arrow at them. The other soldiers immediately rushed out to attack them. Zoro rushed up and slashed all these mediocre pirates. She continued to shoot explosive arrows that stopped them. Sanji wants Luffy to enter the tower first, and the matter's here for him and Zoro to take care of. Luffy unleashes a punch that knocks the pirate in disguise, and he drags the old man into the tower. At this time, Treasure and Robin's group went to the place where there was a large crocodile statue. They needed to solve the puzzle to get pure gold. They needed to get the key and go into the crocodile's mouth to unlock it. Nami and 3 others went inside the crocodile's mouth. Suddenly the crocodile's mouth began to close. The 3 tried to hold the crocodile's mouth. There were too many locks. Nami randomly unlocked. Suddenly one electric current shocked Nami, and the crocodile's mouth began to bite harder. Nami continued to unlock, electrocuted again. If she opened the wrong crocodile's mouth it would bite tighter. Nami continued to unlock it. The current shocked her harder, making her exhausted. Olga ran to help Nami, and there were only 2 locks left unopened, but the current shocked her again. Luffy arrives in time and punches the crocodile in the mouth. Luffy is angry that Treasure has used his teammate as a tool to retrieve treasure. He rushes up to attack Treasure and free Robin. The old man also saw Olga now. Father and son looked at each other, and the old man wanted Olga and the Luffy group to leave this place immediately. He pulled out a device and activated it to create an exit bug for the Luffy group. In front of them is Aesir's laboratory and also a place to store pure gold. Luffy said that Aesir had survived with dinosaurs for the past 200 years and that he cried when he found out Olga was alive. Robin opens a book and it is Aesir's research diary. He created this forbidden pure gold to save his daughter from an incurable disease, so if he sold his soul to the devil, he would still accept. The light of pure gold effectively enhances the strength and ability to develop life. By doing so his daughter absorbs the light and the disease is relieved. A small part of pure gold in the ring has a relieving effect on Olga's disease. That is why Olga has not changed in the last 200 years. At this time Olga feels her father's love and she cries regret for blaming her father. At this time Treasure was threatening the old man. Suddenly the old man brought out an explosive device and activated it. A series of explosions sounded, dragging the old man and Treasure into the explosion. At this time, Luffy's team is trying to escape the explosion but they all fall off the cliff. Luckily Luffy swells up to fend off everyone. Pure gold was thrown away. Treasure saw pure gold and threw the old man towards the Luffy group, after which he grabbed the pure gold. Treasure knew pure gold gave a huge power to the owner and the heavenly dragon man was trying to find it. He smiled happily when he had it. Olga sobbed at her father. Luffy was angry that Treasure was now laughing happily, because he had abandoned his comrades to achieve his goal. Treasure used his powers to strangle Nami and the others, then he immediately took out pure gold. The light from it radiated everywhere. Bonbori was reacting with pure gold, causing the surroundings to envelop a golden color. Treasure combined with pure gold to increase his strength. Luffy angrily rushed up and threw his fist at Treasure. They rushed into a fight. Luffy threw a punch to his face. Treasure frantically threw the shackles at Luffy. A stroke knocked Luffy off. Then he rushed towards Luffy but Luffy used Gear 2 to dodge him and break the chains. Luffy punched Treasure in the face. Their battle was extremely fierce. Both of them were fighting on acid fluid. At this time the acid fluid was surging. Frankie suddenly emerged from the acid fluid. Their ship Sunny was anchored nearby. At this time Zoro and Sanji wipe out all of Treasure's subordinates. Sanji is fighting pirates in disguise. He quickly disguises himself and disappears. Zoro easily dodged the exploding arrows, then he used his 3 swords technique and rushed towards the girl. She hurriedly shot a shower of exploding arrows to block Zoro, but Zoro repelled all the exploding arrows and defeated her. Zoro almost cut her in half, but he was a gentle person. At this time Sanji felt grateful to the pirate in disguise for his invisible ability. Sanji opens up hope that he can fulfill his dream of peeking at his daughter bathing with this ability to disguise. The pirate in disguise heard this and rushed to attack Sanji. Sanji thought that the pirate in disguise had the same dream as him, then he used his fire technique to defeat the pirates in disguise. At this time Luffy is fighting fiercely with Treasure. He knocks Luffy away. Luffy thinks the treasure hunt with his teammates is interesting, but Treasure is the opposite. He is just taking advantage of his subordinates. Two opposing thoughts. Treasure wrapped the chains on his body and rushed into combat. Luffy threw punches and hit backwards. Treasure thought there was nothing wrong with sacrificing his teammates to win the treasure. However, for Luffy, he would never leave his friends behind. Luffy uses Gear 3 and knocks Treasure away. Luffy throws a decisive fist that knocks Treasure high and hits Bonbori's stomach, causing it to writhe in pain. Pure gold fell out of Treasure's body. At this time, Zoro and Sanji rushed here. The acid fluid was now surging, but Treasure still defied to find pure gold. He was eventually swallowed by the acid fluid along with pure gold. Sunny was rushing out at full speed. The fish was about to vomit from Luffy's blow, but it was their chance to get out of this fish's stomach, and this was also how Olga escaped this fish's stomach. The Sunny ship was accelerating to the maximum because the exit was in front of them. Frankie started the emergency escape system and they were out of this fish's mouth. The light from this fish's bulb suddenly lit up. It was the light of pure gold. Bonbori loved to eat pure gold to digest and create light for his bulb. Without pure gold, Bonbori would not appear in front of them again. The old man would not create pure gold again. Olga recalled memories with her mother in the island of alchemy. After landing on one island, the old man and Olga thanked the Straw Hat Pirates for helping them. Nami is afraid that Olga's condition will recur because of the loss of the ring. Chopper asks the name of Olga's disease. It is the fever of the South Sea of the incurable type. Hearing this, Chopper is stunned that the disease has a cure. It is no longer an incurable disease because it has been 200 years. Chopper then hurriedly took out the medicine, but Olga was afraid of the injection and ran away. At the end of One Piece movie, Heart of Gold, how do you feel after watching this movie? Please comment below and don't forget to give this video one like and subscribe if you feel it is great. Thank you and see you soon.